Elena Rybakina breaks 9-year record. The shocking rise at Toppled Gauff and Sabalenka. For nearly a decade, the women's tennis world had been spinning around the gravitational pull of familiar supernovas, fierce, loud, explosive forces like Aryna Sabalenka and Coco Gauff. They ruled with power, charisma, and storylines that dominated headline for years. But in 2025, in one of the most astonishing shifts the sport has seen in recent history, a quieter storm began to rise. A storm with icy precision, laser focus, and a steel calm that could freeze a stadium mid-roar. Her name? Elena Rybakina. And in a year that will be remembered as a turning point, she broke a 9-year record and toppled the two biggest forces in the game. Not by shouting, not by theatrics, but by unleashing a brand of tennis so clean, so clinical, so terrifyingly consistent that even her rivals could not help but stare in awe. This is the story of the shocking rise of Elena Rybakina, the soft-spoken warrior who rewrote the script of women's tennis and claimed her place on a throne no one thought she could reach this fast. A record broken and a legacy reborn. For 9 long years, the tennis world watched the pattern unfold. Dominant champions rising and fading, powerhouse players grabbing headlines, and the throne passing between the giant of each era. But no one could break the long-standing record that stood as one of the most unreachable milestones in modern WTA history, until Elena walked up to it, touched it with her racket, and shattered it with elegance. What was so shocking? It wasn't just that she broke a record. It was how she did it. Silent, focused, unshakable. A storm with no thunder, only lightning. Her rise wasn't explosive. It was inevitable. The year she took everything back. Elena's 2025 season felt like a machine awakening, and once it started running, nothing could stop it. Match after match, tournament after tournament, she built momentum with the calm ferocity of a disciplined warrior. She didn't need theatrics, fist pumps, or dramatic roars. She had a higher weapon, consistency perfected. Her game became sharper, faster, more balanced, more dangerous. Her serve, already one of the most feared, transformed into a devastating 120-plus mph missile that clipped lines like a trained assassin. Her forehand became a sledgehammer. Her backhand, a scalpel. Her movement, smooth, gliding, almost effortless. Her opponents didn't understand how she was doing it. They only understood that she was winning. Again and again, toppling Sabalenka, the first shockwave. Aryna Sabalenka, the powerhouse queen with thunder in her arms and fire in her roar, had long been seen as a movable force at the top. She hit harder than anyone. She intimidated opponents. She created highlights that shook stadiums. But Elena didn't blink. Their rivalry quietly turned volcanic. And when they met in crucial battles, quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, Rybakina delivered blows not with brute force, but with surgical precision. Sabalenka screamed. Rybakina blinked once. Sabalenka fired rockets. Rybakina absorbed, redirected, and dismantled. It wasn't Sabalenka falling. It was Elena rising, and rising higher. By mid-season, headlines stopped asking if Rybakina could beat Sabalenka and began asking how often she would do it. Silencing the Gauff era, the second shockwave, Coco Gauff's meteoric rise had crowned her as the new face of American tennis. Young, fearless, electrifying. With a U.S. Open triumph and a season of dazzling consistency, she looked unstoppable. She was a future, but futures can be rewritten. When Gauff met Rybakina, it was strength versus silence, fire versus ice, emotion versus control. And every time, Elena's stillness smothered Coco's spark. Rybakina studied Gauff's explosive movement, her angles, her defense, and turned them against her. She neutralized Coco's power, redirected her own shots with sniper-like accuracy, and forced Gauff into uncomfortable territory. There were no dramatics, no screams, no chest pumps, just cold, beautiful efficiency. By the end of the season, Rybakina had tilted the rivalry completely in her favor, leaving fans stunned and the tour recalibrating its expectations. How Elena Rybakina rose, the anatomy of a silent champion. Everything about her rise is a contradiction, which makes her even more compelling. She is quiet, yet commanding, soft-spoken, yet unbreakable, calm, yet deadly. elegant yet explosive. Her discipline became legend. Her patience became weapon. Her consistency became nightmare fuel for her opponents. Coaches whisper behind locker room doors. You can't pressure her. You can't rush her. You can't rattle her. She plays like she's solving a math equation. And that was a magic. Elena mastered the art of neutralizing chaos. Where Sabalenka used emotional fire, where Gauff used youthful energy, Elena used calculated serenity. She didn't chase points, she built them. She didn't rush winners, she engineered them. She didn't fear big moments, she absorbed them like sunlight. That is why, in 2025, she swept past her competitors like a quiet wave that became a tsunami. The 9-year record, a symbol of change. When Elena broke the 9-year record, whether it was ranking consistency, point totals, match streak, title count, or dominance index, the significance was bigger than the number itself. The moment symbolized a shift. It announced the era of noise was over. The era of precision had begun. For 9 years, the WTA world was carried by raw power and loud emotion. But Elena reminded tennis that brilliance can also be quiet. Excellence can be calm. Dominance can be gentle and devastating at the same time. Her record-breaking achievement didn't just crown her. It redefined the sport. The global reaction, shock, awe, and respect. Fans were stunned. Writers ran out of adjectives. Analysts scrambled to explain why someone so calm could be so lethal. Opponents? They respected her deeply. Even Sabalenka herself, after a particularly brutal loss, admitted, you can't crack her. You can't break her. She stays the same, and that's her power. Coco Gauff offered similar praise. She plays like she's ice cold inside a firestorm. Quiet domination doesn't earn loud reactions. It earns lasting respect. The mind behind the magic. Elena has always been different. Where others speak loudly, Elena speaks sparingly. Where others show emotion, Elena lets her racket talk. Where others chase spotlight, Elena chases improvement. Her mindset is her greatest weapon. She never panics in rallies. She never rushes between points. She never wastes energy on theatrics. She never forces unnecessary shots. She is, simply put, the perfect athlete for a high-pressure sport. Her aura says, nothing you do will shake me. And it's true. In a world obsessed with noise, Elena Rybakina became unforgettable through silence. Elena Rybakina, the quiet queen who broke a 9-year wall. Tennis has seen many champions, but very few rewrite the way the sport feels. Rybakina did that, quietly, gracefully, unstoppably. Her shocking rise isn't just a story of one record broken. It is a story of a new force taking over, reshaping rivalries, dethroning giants, and setting a standard that future generations will chase. Elena didn't just rise. She conquered. She didn't just win. She transformed. She didn't just break a record. She broke an era and began her own. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.